Hey guys, I thought let's drop a quick little midweek video before we get into fight talk later this week. So today we're going to just be going over 10 common myths about MMA and gym culture in general. And guys, stick around because after we're done crushing these myths, I'm going to get a little vulnerable with you. I'm going to tell you about a girl who crushed a little bit of my ego this last, couple days ago. She hit me with the most soul crushing brutal insult I've heard in years, guys. Oh man, and I just have to talk about it. On top of that, I'm going to give you an 11th. I'm going to give you one more myth at the end of this video that I think all of you need to hear because I've been asked this by about 100 different guys. It pertains to training Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. And guys, it's a good one. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, myth number one, lifting heavy makes you slow and muscle bound. Okay, guys. Explosive movements, cleans, plyos, things like that, is not going to make you heavy and muscle bound. Force equals speed. You know, um, guys, I can't even remember what is it? Oh yeah, power equals force times speed multiplied to the 10th power divided by 3. Whatever. Guys, the reality is, you're not going to get slow and boring. I mean, unless you're injecting a bunch of anabolic steroids or things like that, you're not going to get slow and heavy and bulky. That's just not a thing. I was one of those people that would just only train and wouldn't lift weights because I bought into some of those myths and thought, oh, it's going to make my ligaments weak or different things like that. Guys, nothing up to my game more than just putting in time in the gym as well and just getting stronger and more explosive. And I felt better. Uh, it was a game changer. So, guys, get in there, work out. It's not going to affect your jiu-jitsu. I promise you, if you're currently training Brazilian jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or kickboxing or anything like that, you're only going to get better by working out in the gym as well and getting stronger. So, moving on. Myth number two, tapping out is a form of weakness. Guys, it's not a form of weakness. Come on. I mean, especially in training, tapping out in training is just part of the gig, right? I mean, you can't have an ego. Having an ego when tapping out is what gets you, broken bones and torn ligaments. And your training partners are just trying to be good, man. They're trying to, sink in a choke lightly or not twist the arm too much. They're not trying to heel hook you too hard because they expect you to tap. They want you to tap. They expect you to show them that respect and not make them hurt you. So guys, the ego thing, yeah, tapping is not a problem in the gym. You should tap. You should tap early and often. I don't like having my throat all bruised up because I was stubborn and thought I was going to fight out of the choke. No, I'm not going to make you squeeze and crush my esophagus. I'll just tap. I'll tell you another thing, man. I have no shame tapping. For any of you, those of you who have rolled, I mean, you've been rolling with that 250-pound purple belt gorilla, right? And he gets he gets on top of you. He's heavy. You can't get him off, and he tries to mother's milk you, right? And for those of you that don't know, mother's milk is a term we use when that dude puts those man titties right in your face and puts all his weight on your face, and you can't breathe. Boy, I tell you what, I tap faster. No. I mean, maybe I could fight out of that in a minute or two, but I am not going to be snorting up your sweaty chest hair gumbo while I'm trying to fight out of that. You win, sir. I tap. Guys, just tap. It's not a big deal. That's what we train for. I mean, come on. Moving on. Myth number three, traditional martial arts don't work in MMA. Oh boy. Now, that's just a load of BS, right, guys? I mean, we've seen it in action. We've seen guys like MVP who uses that, karate, that quick in and out. He doesn't have a lot of wrestling, but he has some takedown defense and he just stays quick in and out. Absolutely works for him. We see guys like Stephen Thompson, same thing. That, fast point karate style is very hard to deal with, and he's had a ton of success. Yeah, guys, that one's pure phony myth. I mean, if it's implemented correctly, guys can have a ton of success. And I can tell you from experience, just doing this for so long and sparring different guys, I've had guys come in and they have like this extensive taekwondo background or something like that, and man, they're just so hard to get close to because they're so fast, and every time you start to get in range, they just hit you with another kick that takes the wind out of you, or they're just in and out and they're gone, they're side to side. I mean, it's hard, man, it's hard. So that's definitely a myth. With the right application and learning the right accessory skills to kind of go along with it a little bit, you can have a lot of success in MMA by just being really elite at one thing. I mean, even guys like Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, they came in and taught us that, you can come in being very, very good at one skill set and absolutely be good in MMA. So moving on. Hitting the heavy bag builds one-shot knockout power. No. You can learn better technique through constantly hitting the heavy bag. Hitting the heavy bag alone, if you're doing it with the wrong form, the wrong technique, that's not going to increase your power at all. I mean, it's still going to increase your bone density a little bit, maybe. Hitting the bag, hitting the bag with your fists, your shins, all that. It's going to increase your bone density a bit, and that will help a tiny bit. But guys, power, I mean, as we all know, power, for one, that like lights out touch of death power is a lot of times genetic, but then also a lot of it is your mechanics. You're planting from the floor. You're really rotating the hips all the way up from the floor into the shot. You're keeping straight. That's another one that people miss. They'll flare out their elbows or, things like that, and that takes away a lot of your power too. If you're throwing a straight and you're keeping things tight, I don't mean tight because you need to be loose and flowy too, but don't flare your elbows out. If you flare your elbows out on your shots, you lose like no joke, like 50% of your power. It's night and day different. If you have a bad habit of flaring your elbows out, stand in front of the bag and hit it a few times. Throw like a straight right hand or straight left hand, depending on if you're southpaw or orthodox, and just flare your elbows out a couple times and feel that power, as opposed to if you keep that in tighter, and it makes a world of difference. When my coach pointed out to me that I was flaring my elbows too much, man, it made a world of difference. I could tell immediately. So yeah, power comes from good technique, not necessarily hitting the bag a bunch of times. You need to hit the bag and learn the proper rotational technique, and that is going to help. Also in fights, man, a lot of times it's about timing anyways. It's timing and precision. I've been hit with some monstrous shots that I seen coming and they didn't hurt me that bad, and then I've been hit with light shots that I just did not see at all that put me down. And I mean, that's kind of the name of the game. You hit someone on the button just right, you hit them with something they don't see coming, and it is almost guaranteed to hurt them, put them down something, as opposed to you just wailing away with haymakers. Now, again, some of the guys like a Francis Ngannou, they have the power. They can just come in at you windmilling, and get you. But yeah, moving on. Redlining your cardio every session is mandatory. Oh boy, guys, this is one that gets passed around a lot. Especially if you're preparing for a fight or you have some sort of competition coming up, that you have to just kill yourself. If you're not throwing up on the mats, or running to throw up in the bathroom after every practice, you're not pushing hard enough, and you need to push harder. You shouldn't be able to walk. Guys, don't make yourself miserable sitting on the toilet. It's not mandatory. Guys, I'm sure you've heard the concept. You train how you're going to fight, right? So it's not going to do you any good if you have an active competition coming up, whether that's jiu-jitsu or MMA or some sort of striking art like boxing or Muay Thai, whatever. If you have something like that coming up, it's not going to do you any good to push that hard in the gym where you are so exhausted your brain can't even, you're literally frying your central nervous system when you do that. It does not help your technique. It does not help you improve. And the fact of the matter is, all your training partners are going to go easier on you when you're in that state, which again is not going to help, because when you're in there, your opponent's not going to go easy on you. So it does not do you any good to get to that state and push that hard to where everybody's babying you to get you through practice, and you get a false sense of security on how it's going to be in the fight. Because let me tell you, when you're tired in the fight, that is when someone's going to turn it up to 11 on you, and you want to be prepared for that. So how you train when you have a competition coming up is you pace yourself. You find your pockets of rest. You find the pacing that is going to work for you to get through that without killing yourself, because then that's how you're going to fight. If you know that, hey, what works for me in a 5-minute round is I sprint for a minute and then I kind of play the range game and I stay on the outside and I catch my breath for 30 seconds and then I sprint for another minute. Whatever works for you, you need to be doing that in training, because that's what's going to get you through your competition, not just redlining all the time. That just breaks your bodies down. It causes injuries. It fries your central nervous system. Yeah, don't do that, guys. Moving on to some gym and fitness myths. No pain, no gain. Extreme muscle soreness is the only metric for a successful workout. Guys, if you're not brand new to working out, gauging a successful workout based on how sore you are after is just silly. That's not a good metric. I mean, like I said, if you're just starting out, yeah, you're going to be sore for the first week, maybe 2 weeks, whatever. If you're not used to working out and you just jump into it, yeah, you're going to be sore for a while. But after you're used to working out a little bit, if you are still super sore from a workout, that is literally just your body telling you that you're doing something wrong. Soreness does not equal muscle repair and growth, guys. It just doesn't. I mean, you want to be efficient with your workouts. There's so many new studies out these days. Like, let's take sets, for example. People used to say, oh, you need to do a set and then you rest for 30 seconds and then do another set. Guys, sometimes I rest for like a minute between sets. Sometimes like a minute and a half, depending on how I'm feeling. Like, it's this idea that you just need to do this or do that and you need to be sore and you need to have a hard time, getting out of bed in the morning or playing with your kids or whatever. No, guys, just train smart, train hard, but train smart. Listen to your body. That's why, like, I don't have a set time between sets. I listen to my body. If I know that 30 seconds is not enough time for me to recover and put in another clean set, I wait another 30 seconds or another minute or whatever until I know I can put in another clean set to get through my 3 sets for whatever workout I'm doing. It's about listening to your body, guys. Set a range where you can do clean motions on whatever sets or whatever exercise you're doing. I like to go 3 sets of 8 for whatever I'm doing and just clean sets of motions. And my rest period between sets is however long it's going to take for me to put in another clean, slow, full set with perfect form. Because it's not going to do you any good to take a 30-second rest between sets and then try to explode your way through it and hurt yourself or have horrible form. That's not helping your muscles. That's straining your ligaments. That's causing the soreness I'm talking about, and that's the wrong kind of soreness. You don't want to be sore because you worked out like an idiot. Guys, smarter, not harder. Moving on. Sweating heavy equals massive fat burning. Oh boy, yeah, I see that one all the time, right? The guy in the gym wearing the gray hoodie and gray sweats that are already soaked by the time you get there and see him. He's sitting on all the equipment, getting everything wet and sticky with his disgusting man juices. Yeah, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Sweating does not burn fat. That is such a crazy myth. Sweat is literally just burning water weight. All of that is going to come back as soon as you come home and pound a Gatorade. You're not doing anything. Leave the plastic bags at home. Leave the Rocky outfit at home. Just come in comfortable, nice gym clothing, smelling good. Get your workout on. Don't sweat on all the equipment and leave puddles on the floor. Because I'll tell you one thing. When I walk around the corner holding my dumbbells because I'm trying to just come get a good workout in and I slip on your fucking puddle of sweat, we're going to have words, you and me. So stop. It doesn't matter. If you want to sit in a sauna or something afterwards, that's fine. Getting up a sweat is good for you, but not in the gym all over the floor and the equipment. Come on, guys. That's just silly. That does not burn fat. Moving on. Spot reduction, targeting fat loss in specific areas. All right, we've all heard it, right? The guy who says, well, I'm going to do 500 crunches a day because that's going to get rid of that stubborn belly fat. Or, I'm going to do so many pull-ups a day because that's going to get rid of, the fat on the back of my arms, things like that. This notion that you can target specific pockets of fat is wild. It's not true. Our genetics dictate what areas we're going to burn fat first. women are different to men, and then everybody's genetics are different to each other. You're not going to target. Now, doing 500 crunches a day is going to build your ab muscles to where they show up faster. And you know, that's something that gets missed a lot too. Everybody wants the abs, everybody wants the 6-pack, 8-pack, 4-pack, whatever. And everybody is you know, out here saying, well, you know, abs are built in the kitchen, not in the gym. I would push back on that a little bit. That's kind of true, but guys, if you are just dieting and eating super clean and just really trying to get to a super low body fat percentage, yes, you'll have abs, but if you're not actively working out or building your abdominal muscles, it's going to take you down to like, and again, this is kind of dependent on genetics, but a lot of guys, it's going to take them like, you know, 7-8% body fat before abs are really popping if they're not working abs. I've seen guys in the gym that can't even get through like a 3-minute long leg raise session or a sit-up challenge or whatever. I see it all the time in the gyms, guys, and they'll have like the most carved out crazy 6-pack ever, and then there's, you know, old Uncle Tom on the mat opposite them with a beer belly crushing the leg raises and sit-ups, and these dudes with the abs can't get through them. Well, why is that? It's because they're starving themselves to get those abs. It's not because they put in the work. They're literally starving themselves to be at such a low body fat percentage so their abs can show. And then what does the rest of them look like? They look like scrawny bean poles, man. It's not a good look. What you want is to build your abdominal muscles, and you do that the same way you build any other muscle. Progressive overload, weights, you know, you do hanging leg raises until those get too easy. Then you do weighted hanging leg raises, you do laying leg raises, you do, you know, weighted cable crunches, things like that. And that builds that core to where now you don't have to be at 8% body fat to have abs showing. Now, you know, again, depending on genetics, you might get them popping at between 12 and 15% body fat. And then the rest of you can be all thick and juicy too, guys. And that's what we want. And then you can crush those workouts too, because also you're not starving yourself at 12 to 15% body fat. You're able to eat just fine. So, guys, yeah, that one's a myth. Stop trying to target specific fat loss. Just work out, build your muscles, eat right, eat clean. The fat will come off as it comes off, where it comes off, depending on your gender and genetics. All right. Static stretching before workout prevents injury. Guys, that is a myth. Static stretching before a workout can oftentimes lead to a loss in explosivity and power and make you have a harder time getting through your workouts, especially if you are lifting heavy. Now, I am not saying that stretching is not good and that static stretching is not good. It is. It has a time and place. I believe the time and place is after the workout. After you've put in the work, have a quick 15-minute stretch session, just so you know all your ligaments are nice and loose and relaxed. That's going to do you way more good than putting in that session before the workout. Before the workout, you want like active warm-ups, you know, shadow boxing, hitting some lighter sets, you know, things like that. And if you don't believe me, I want you to test something. I want you to go in, let's say bench pressing. Go in, do static stretching if that's what you've been doing and that's what you believe in, and then hit the bench and go for like personal best or like a 3-rep best, like heavy weight, right? And see how you feel doing that. Okay, now by contrast, next time I want you to come in and I want you to hit a set of like curls, hit 3 sets of 8 on curls, and you know, do a little shadow boxing and maybe hit like some lower, you know, hit 1 12-rep stage of benching, then rest for a couple minutes. Then I want you to try that personal best or that 3-rep max on that bench and tell me how much easier that is after you use that as a warm-up, because I'm telling you, you are going, compared to just the static stretching, you are going to crush that heavy benching if you do my warm-up method. I'm telling you guys, it's nearly foolproof. Moving on. If you stop training, muscle turns into fat. No, that's not how cells work, guys. Fat cells and muscle cells are completely different. They're not going to magically meld into one another. That's not the way physiology works. I hope that's the right thing to call it. But, guys, it's not how it works. your muscles will atrophy. If you completely stop working out, your muscles will atrophy and get smaller. And if you're not working out and you are eating a calorie dense diet and putting junk into your body, your fat cells will expand. So, yes, you are going to get fatter. Your muscles are not going to turn into fat, they're going to atrophy. And also, muscle memory is a wonderful thing. So, if you get back on business and start eating right and get back in the gym, those muscles are going to grow again and they're going to grow faster than before. So, total myth. Cells work different. Oh, okay, now. So that was 10. Now we get into our bonus point. Our number 11. Guys, so many people need to hear this. This is a little bit of an awkward subject, but we're going to tackle it right now. I've had so many people ask me this. We've all seen it. In jiu-jitsu classes, the attractive women that come in the tight yoga pants and the little sports bras, and I've had 100 guys ask me, I can't go do jiu-jitsu because I would get, the little man would stand to attention, right? I might get too excited by the women. I couldn't go in and roll with a woman because then I would be in an embarrassing situation. Oh, guys. That's not going to happen. That's not how it works. You might walk in and think, oh, that girl over there, she looks really hot. Man, she's, her body. Yeah, because let's face it, they're all in shape because they train jiu-jitsu. But let me tell you, when that 90-pound female starts twisting you up like a pretzel and you can't breathe, you're not going to be aroused. You're just going to be trying to figure out how you're going to survive and why this little girl is beating you up. Guys, it's a non-factor. So just come in, train, be respectful to that 90-pound girl, because chances are she's been doing this since she was 12 and she's a fucking savage. So just show her respect, okay? You're not gonna get too excited. You're not gonna get an erection, trust me. And if there's any women out there listening that are worried about this, that's not gonna happen. No guy is gonna stand at attention while rolling with you. It's just it's not gonna happen, guys. Your nervous system is overloaded with survival at that point. It's not gonna happen. Don't worry about it. You're not gonna feel awkward. Just get in there and train. We all roll with everybody. And you're not going to have an awkward moment with the cute girl rolling. You're just going to slap fists, get into your roll, have a good time, be respectful, get humbled by a little girl, and go, wow, I really want to get better at this because that was embarrassing. That's the extent of it, guys. Oh, okay. With that said, we went through our 11 points. So now, as promised, I'm going to get a little vulnerable and I'm going to share an ego-crushing story of my own. So, at my local pub the other day, I ran into this girl. And now, a little backstory. Me and this girl have a little bit of a will they, won't they. A cute little... She's playing hard to get... we run into each other at the pub. And she, talks. We might play pool or have a beer sometimes, but she plays this little hard to get routine. And so then I ignore her for a little while until she does something crazy to try to get my attention. And then we'll have a couple beers and play pool, whatever. It's that back and forth game, right? So I run into her the other day, and it's been a couple weeks since I've seen her. So we actually kind of dropped this whole, hard to get back and forth game we've been playing because we was just happy to see each other. So we just kind of dropped that and just went right into, catching up, having a couple drinks, playing a couple games of pool. It was a good time. It's fun. But we go outside for a little chat, and she asks, because, she hasn't even asked me this before, but she asks what I do. And so I tell her what I do for my regular day job, but then I confide in her a little bit, right? Because now my channel's new and I'm not that guy that's like braggy or going to tell people. So I haven't really told my friends or family that I'm doing this YouTube thing or trying to do this YouTube thing. Because, friends and family can get a little weird when you decide to try to do something crazy like this, right? So I just keep it under wraps. So I seen this as an opportunity because, I want to talk about it because I'm excited because you guys are awesome. And I'm enjoying this so much. So I'm excited. I want to talk about it a little bit, right? So I confide in this girl, right? I'm thinking, here's my chance. I can a little humble brag, like, hey, I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to do something fun. So I tell her, my regular day job. But then I also tell her that, and I'm trying to be a YouTuber. I've got a channel. It's getting a little bit of traction. Nothing crazy, but I'm trying this thing out. She laughs. She laughs like crazy, guys. She just starts laughing, and now immediately I'm taken back. Right? I'm like, I go from 6'2" to now I'm about 5'1", and now we're on eye level with each other now, right? Because she's cut me so far down to size just with this laughing. So now I got to know what's up. Like, so I lean in. I'm like, why are you laughing? Why is that funny? And she just like still giggling. Is like, no. I'm sure you're fine at it. Let me guess. It's a video gaming channel. What? A video gaming channel? Guys, what the hell? I barely even play video games. And I mean, even if I did, come on. Like, nothing's wrong with playing video games, but I mean, I feel like, guys, am I wrong, or was she saying that I'm a fucking nerd? That's how I took it. This little girl's laughing at me, calling me a nerd, thinking I run a video game channel. I'm like, no, woman, I talk about fighting. I talk about life. A video gaming channel. Oh my God, guys. That cut me down to size. I'm not going to lie. I'm never telling anyone else that I'm trying to do YouTube. That's done. I tried it. I tried to tell someone. I tried to confide it. I thought it was a cool thing, and I get accused of running a video gaming channel. I tell you what, guys, she is going to be playing pool on her own. Little Miss Video Gaming Channel is playing pool by herself at the local pub for the next few weeks because my ego has to have time to recover. Oh, man. I can't believe it. A video gaming channel? That was brutal, guys. Oh, that was brutal. And again, there's nothing wrong with playing video games or having a video game channel, but I mean, come on. I thought I was projecting a little bit more masculinity than that. I guess not. So, with that said, guys, I want to hear your most embarrassing, demoralizing rejection stories in the comments. That's what I want, guys. I want to read through your stories like that where a girl she cuts you down to size. Women, my metrics show that about 3% of you watching are women, so I want those 3%. I want you to comment as well. Tell me about a time that a guy maybe cut you down, or even tell me about a time you cut a guy down. And better yet, tell me how you're so good at it. I want to know. I didn't even know that was an insecurity, the idea that I would have a video gaming channel, but goddamn, she found it. How do you do that? How do you just find a guy's insecurities so easily to cut him back down to size and bring him back down to earth? I want to know. So guys, drop your comments. Tell me your best stories about rejection or getting that ego cut down a bit. Women, tell me how you do it. Tell me some of your stories about how you've done it and different times you've done it. And I'm going to pick the funniest one, the one that I personally find the funniest, and I'll shout it out in my next live chat, and we'll chat about it, we'll talk about it, and we'll have a grand old time just trying to lift each other back up from some of these ego-crushing moments, guys. Okay, with that said, now we get into a slightly positive message. You know, I like to always put these at the ends of my videos. I can't leave it on an ego-crushing defeat. We have to say a little bit of positivity. So, guys, we talked about working out and gym culture in this one. I hope I dispelled some myths and made your sets better, your workouts better, and maybe encouraged you if you haven't done jiu-jitsu because you're worried about the boner situation. I hope I've encouraged you to maybe get in there because it is so fun. And you meet your family, you meet your best friends, you make lifelong connections in that gym and on those mats. So that is the best way I know to fight anxiety and depression, my friends, is getting in there on those mats and meeting your future friends and family. You might even meet your future wife or husband there. It is an amazing place. It's a great way, guys. I can go in there on the worst days of my life and come out with a smile on my face because these are people that care, and for however long that session is, whether it's an hour or 2 hours or whatever, nothing else matters. I can go in there with all the weight of the world in my head, rattling around in the old noodle, and while I'm in there, nothing else matters. I just have to focus on the task at hand and surviving these savages. So, guys, get out there, join a gym, join, a combat gym, and see what I mean, because you're going to meet great people. You're going to meet, like I said, your future friends, family, and it is the best way I know to fight depression, anxiety, and that's what we got to do in this world. And also, it's going to teach you some much needed confidence and self assurance. It's super good for that. You can go in there real doubtful of yourself, and if you just stick with it, you're gonna find that more and more you build your confidence and that swagger, and it's good for you, and it helps teach you to put positivity out there in the world, because that's what we need, guys. So much negativity going on. The world's so tough. We're all struggling with things. So go out there, build some positivity for yourself, fight your own demons, but then also put some positivity back out into the world, help people fight theirs. I'm out, guys. That's the video. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy it.